Hi everyone, it's Phil here from Ashland Leather. Let's take a closer look at the Tall Tony today, but before we do that, how about a preview of what's in the video? So we have an ultraviolet marble shell Cordovan, Tall Tony the Ant. We have a natural reverse Tall Tony, an English tan Dublin Tall Tony, a whiskey shell Cordovan Tall Tony. Then I have a brand new extra thick English tan Dublin Apple Watch Band. We have a comparison today between the intense blue navy shell Cordovan and black shell Cordovan. I have a custom Bugs Moran in intense blue shell Cordovan with an orange thread. A custom Fat Herbie in blue Rockford and orange Rockford. A key case in ultraviolet marbled shell Cordovan. Lastly, a brand new shell Cordovan color, the Kia shell Cordovan on a Johnny the Fox. All right, let's take a closer look here at this, what we're calling the Tall Tony. Originally, we normally make a model that's called the Tony the Ant, and it's modeled off after the Fat Herbie style with the aesthetic of the exterior bill slot. But we've had some customers from around the world that have a little bit of taller paper notes. So we decided to accommodate those by making this bill slot in the back go all the way to the top. And this is the result of the Tall Tony. It's actually really cool because it gives you a little bit more context of something like a marble shell. I think a little bit of extra context in most of the shells is always better. So I've been kind of into that. It's a little bit more difficult to use to get paper money inside and out of. So if you're using US dollars, I don't necessarily suggest this unless you love the aesthetic. But take a look here at this really beautiful piece of marbled ultraviolet shell Cordovan. And this one is a little bit more subtle, and I really, really like it. It has a little bit of darkness here on the top edge of this bill slot, and it sort of goes light in the center and then back a little darker on the edges. So notice the color goes a little bit orange in the light areas, a little bit magenta in the bottom sections here, and then a little bit more of like a color 8 on the top and all the colors in between. I think that is a really incredible piece. Take a look at the inside here. And I've been a huge fan of the reverse ultraviolet for a long time. And that's because of these random dye marks, and you get a great bit of dye splatter in the center right there next to the Horween ink stamp. This is a beautiful Tony the Ant and one of the Tall Tonys we've been doing. You can pick up a Tall Tony from us. These are made by request only, but we're glad to do it for you. So let us know if you want one. Just send me an email to info@ashlandleather.com. And take a look at this one. This one just a really bold Horween ink stamp on the exterior of this Tall Tony. This is a natural reverse shell Cordovan piece. And again, take a look at that incredible ink stamp. It's like a really clean piece of reverse natural on the outside here. And on the inside, we've got more natural reverse. And it's a little bit more golden on the interior. These are reverse pieces on the left and right card holders. And in the center, we've got a little bit of that regular natural shell Cordovan. Really nice looking Tony the Ant here. The Tall Tony. And this is the whiskey shell Cordovan Tall Tony. I believe I showed this in yesterday's video. It's still very nice. This golden brown shade on the outside. I wanted to bring it out to show you the difference between the whiskey and the natural. You can see that the whiskey here is maybe 5 shades darker, much more yellow, much more of a golden tan shade, where the natural is a little bit lighter in color, definitely a little bit more neutral, maybe a slight bit more orange to it. All right, let's take one last look at the inside here. This nice little color rainbow with the ultraviolet on the left, garnet, natural, and intense blue on the right. And the last Tall Tony to show you today, this is the English Tan Dublin, which I've been a huge fan of. I've been wearing a Johnny the Fox in the English Tan Dublin for over 60 days now. It's been about 65 days, and I'm really, really enjoying how nicely the English Tan Dublin wears in. It just develops an incredible patina. But giving you a look here, this is the first time I've seen a Tall Tony in the English Tan Dublin, and I happen to think that looks very cool. Nice little bit of pull up in the center here. That's more of like a burst effect because we're displacing the waxes in that Dublin leather. And on the inside, more incredible Dublin with that great natural character. All right, I wanted to show you something new here. This is a Apple Watch band in English Tan Dublin. But what makes this one a little bit different, I don't think we've ever made one in English Tan Dublin before, but this is extra thick belt weight Dublin. I'm curious to see how nicely this English tan wears in on my wrists, but I'm also curious to see how that extra thick leather feels on my wrist. I'm imagining that the thickness, just the thicker bit of leather, will give the watch just a little bit more of a stronger vibe, just because the shell that I've been wearing, this is about 4 ounces, and the leather that I'm using for this English tan is roughly twice the thickness. So let's change these out right now, and I'm going to start documenting this watch wrap every day. But before I do that, this Apple Watch band has served me really well over a couple years. This was originally a black reverse shell Cordovan, and I have a black reverse piece here. So if you look at the center, this watch band was roughly this color in the middle of this Fat Herbie. Much more light tan, a little bit more green, and take a look at how much patina that has developed. I am a gross person and wear this all the time when I'm running, riding a bike, anything. I don't really take it off, and I don't baby it. And I'm really happy with how this is worn in. It's just really developed a nice patina. I've been wearing it for, I didn't even keep track, but I know it's been at least over a year now. So let's take these off and put on the new English tan. All right, there we go. I think that looks really, really great. There's something about the black and English tan together that's just a really great look. So I'll be wearing this one starting now, and I'll try to document this and how it wears in just about every day. I'll give you a little bit of an update on this. I'm curious to see what you guys think about a thicker leather for an Apple Watch band, or if you're interested in this English tan. I think this happens to look really, really cool. All right, just before I started filming this video, I put up, I think, 7 different Fat Herbies on our flash sale page that are $50 off. And some of them, one of them is this darker blue here, which is navy blue. And then what I wanted to do was show a little bit of difference between this navy blue and the intense blue, because the navy blue is not a color that I see very often from Horween. It's darker, and in some lights and certain angles, it almost reads as a black. So let's take a comparison here. The navy is on the left, where the intense blue is on the right. And you might be able to see it sort of immediately. The intense blue has a little bit more of like an aqua blue to it. It's a little lighter and maybe a little bit less red. I think the navy is a little bit more of like a purple is how it reads to me. And let's compare the insides here. So looking at that, I think this is even more apparent for some reason. Not sure why, but the top here, this intense blue, much lighter, much more of an aqua blue. And next to that, this navy almost reads as black. But let's take a black here. Here's an actual black shell. So on the top here, intense blue, navy, and black. Now let's compare navy and black together. And I think when they're side by side, you can really see the difference. But it's a subtle difference. So I really wanted to show this difference here because I know that when I put this product up on the website, it might appear as a black when you have it by itself, but it is definitely a deep dark blue. So these are $50 off right now, along with a couple other special colors of Fat Herbies. So I have a secret mission to convert more people into Fat Herbie wearers, because I think it happens to be the best wallet around, and just because it lays so flat in your pocket, everything is really easy to access. And it's a really unique design. I think what happens is people look at this and they notice that it's a little bit larger and a little bit of a different looking wallet than people have ever seen before. But I've never had an issue fitting it into any pant pocket. So I wanted to give you a little bit of an incentive to try this Fat Herbie out. There's a few different colors on the flash sale page. All of them are $50 off. All right, and I have another intense blue shell Cordovan item to show you. This is a Bugs Moran. And that really beautiful piece of intense blue shell Cordovan. More of an aqua blue, a little bit darker on the surface, but definitely lighter and more aqua blue than the navy shell Cordovan. This one on the outside, you might notice, it has that really interesting orange thread that I think contrasts really well with the intense blue. Take a look at the inside as well. More orange thread all the way around the border with intense blue reverse shell card holders on top of more intense blue underneath them. A nice little Horween ink stamp on the center. And one more blue item to show you. This is a leather that I don't think I have very much left of. But this is a blue Rockford from Horween. It's a veg tan leather with a wax finish similar to the Dublin, but it's a little softer and a little less dense than the Dublin. I think the tannage of the Rockford allows us to get a little bit more of a vibrant color in this leather, which is why I like this blue. And I saw it at the tannery and I loved the leather, so I just bought the side, because every now and then Horween will have little one-offs there as well, and I just we collect the leathers, and every now and then we have a customer that says, I really want a bright blue. So we picked out this blue Rockford for this wallet. Another orange contrasting thread on this one, which I think that orange and blue are super cool. And if you like orange and blue, wait till you see this on the interior. More orange Rockford. This one doesn't have a wax on it though, so we don't have that burst effect of color. A little bit more highs and lows on the blue on the exterior, but the orange on the inside is that really vivid orange shade. Super cool with the blue in the center. And I had to show you this key case that we're sending out today. This is another marbled ultraviolet piece, but this one has a much more dramatic contrast. You can see on the back here, it's more of like that light orangey tan, and on the front, it's got a little bit more of that purple ultraviolet color. And I think the combo of these two are really interesting. I just couldn't not show you this piece today. And the last wallet, this is a brand new color from Horween. This is called Kia Shell Cordovan, K-E-A. It's named after a bird that Skip Horween saw on a nature show. And he just loved the color of the bird. And he said, oh, that piece of leather that I've been working on at the tannery looks like the color of that bird. So that's how we came up with the name Kia. And take a look at the shade. It kind of reminds me of the analogy between navy shell cordovan and intense blue, and something like dark green shell cordovan. This would be the intense blue counterpart, but in green. So it's a little bit lighter. It definitely reads as a green to me. A little bit of yellow undertones. This one has a really subtle and pleasant color shift to it. Some angles, again, it's sort of that darker forest green, but other angles, it kind of reminds me of the verdigris, which I think is really special. Take a look at the interior here. This is black reverse shell cordovan on the inside. I happen to think this black reverse pairs perfectly with the Kia on the outside. I think that's really special, and whoever on my team cut this did a really great job. I love the way that these card holders look, how we have a gradient from light on the bottom to darker shells on the top. This is a really special Giant the Fox. This one's available. So I actually have 2 of these available. So if you like this look of the Kia shell with a black reverse interior like I do, I'm happy to sell you this one. Again, we only have 2. So just send me an email or leave me a comment, whatever. Get a hold of me, and I'll make sure to reserve this one for you. So man, a lot of great stuff again today. I'm really happy with the first wallet that I showed you. There's something magical about this tall Tony. I'm going to pick this one as my stunner of the day, along with this vault key holder. The color range and just the vividness in this marbled ultraviolet is incredible. That's really nice. And then the cherry on top for this guy was that reverse interior. So I'm really happy with this tall Tony. Well, I'm really happy with all the wallets. And I'm happy with my new watch band, which I guess I'll follow up with you and let you know how this one wears in. So thanks for checking it out. And until next time, have a good one.